Hey guys, Dan here from Bolster. Another edition of this Bolster podcast. We're honored to have Kevin here, one of our customers, one of our value customers that's been working with Ryan to implement Bolster in his business. So welcome, Kevin, and thanks for joining us. Just before we get started, little introduction from yourself. Can you tell me about a bit about yourself and your company and your role as well?
So I own Prestige Home Renovations in Colorado, and we have a team of probably about six guys out there, and then we have an office manager. So we were fairly new to Bolster. We started out with the cost certified, so we got to work that transition. But no, we've really gotten acclimated to it and loving the features and the help of a third-party tech team is going to actually help us integrate Bolster more into our platform, where we're using Bolster and QuickBooks as our main go-tos for the CRM, for the even the project management and stuff. I have some more training to do with Ryan, but we'll figure that part out a little bit more. But my tech guy, he understands it a lot more, and he looked at it and he's like, "Wow, we could do a lot with this." So I'm pretty excited,
Awesome.
not being a tech guy.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, that's great to hear. And yeah, if you don't mind me asking, what was it that initially drew you into Bolster? Was it the quoting, the estimating, or was it more on the project management side as well?
I had looked at a few different platforms. We won't name those out here, but nothing was really jiving with me. And I looked at what I'm trying to remember who presented to me first, but I watched a demo on it, and it was very clear that a builder built this, that it was from his brain. And I mean, I've worked out of an Excel spreadsheet for 25 plus years, and a lot very customized, try to automate it, and there are just too many kinks in it. And when I saw this, I'm like, this is my brain, this really works. And the fact that you guys listen and you we make suggestions, and if it makes sense, then it's like, hey, we'll have our developers incorporate that. And that's pretty exciting. I've gotten to watch you guys grow too, just going through the cost certified to the bolster transition. That was huge. But Ryan is always, hey, what else can we do for you, and here's how we can do it, do what you're already operating with. And so it's been very helpful.
Yeah, awesome. Oh no, yeah, it's great feedback. Yeah, the dev teams, sort of working around the clock, to get stuff, and then obviously we've got a team here, we've got a team in Cape Town as well, and that keeps us sort of well covered th through the night, if we do need to make
Mhm.
sort of changes there. So it's really cool to hear. And yeah, we're obviously always expanding. But of the features that we currently have, what's the feature that you like the most, or what do you use the most, do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm still working on customizing it to us, and that's what's so nice. I know my initial training showed me I could build out tools to build an estimate right there on the spot with my client. Unfortunately, with the type of projects I do, it's very customized. Every project is different. So we might get into some more retail stuff where it's like bam, 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 you enter it in and there's your estimate right on the spot. So that's a beautiful thing for someone who's more retail. Us being more custom, I can still build out assemblies and tools that I can draw from. So you build these templates, and then you could just draw on it. Here's a hall bath. Great. Here's another hall bath. We're just tweaking a few items, or a master bath. Most of our master baths are pretty custom to that particular project. But we're doing basements, which again, basements are, you have your foundation and you can just drop it in and then make your tweaks. And I know that I have saved a ton of time on building estimates from what I was doing. And I literally would give away a kitchen sink at midnight as I'm building an estimate and dozing at the computer. But this, it really puts in some checks and balances where it's like, hey, here's your format. Do you have this one or not? And it's like, yeah or no, we throw that one out. And for this particular project. So, I mean, the fact that it saves me time is tremendous, but the usability of it with those assemblies and items that you can save, and then save bigger assemblies for actual projects, that's primo.
Yeah, oh, awesome, man. That's really cool to hear. You did touch on a little bit there, but keen to dig in to that as well. But you did mention, do you have this option? Do you have this selection? I'm curious to find out how you used to do that using Excel.
I would create a whole other section in my Excel spreadsheet. And so it'd be like, okay, here's this. Let's rewrite everything. It's all manual. Nothing was automated. And I mean, we tried
Mm,
to automate some of the stuff. You could get addresses and clients' names populated or assumptions and margins, where you could have an assumption page and then it dumps into your spreadsheet. It was just cumbersome and left a lot of room for mistakes, human error. Whereas this takes a lot of that human error out, and you could still, I mean, like with the way the bolster is set up now compared to what it was with the cost certified. I mean, you see the whole thing. It is like a spreadsheet, and so my mind works like a spreadsheet. But you get to see it, and you can make manipulations after you've exited the actual item, being able to see it all together. And what I think we need a 35% margin on this versus a 30% margin. So it's bam, 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 bam. You just make those adjustments. The tools where you can link it to here's this assembly, here's the square footage. This is going to be based on countertop square feet, and everything is linked back to that. That's a great tool. So you're not, oh, I forgot to change it here, but I changed it here, and it's you end up losing $1,000 or so because you forgot to change something. But this really helps eliminate human error. Um,
yeah, awesome. I mean, yeah, that's one of the advantages, I guess. And yeah, I guess the idea with the spreadsheet estimating is that it is familiar. It is familiar to
yeah.
guys that are using Excel now. So yeah, we're really excited that people are making the switch, off cost certified into
Yes.
Bolster and using it as well. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. No, thanks for that. And then yeah, I just wanted to touch on kind of the customer support side. And I guess it's a bit awkward talking about Ryan, not to him. But I wanted to touch on, yeah, how was your experience like with customer support and setup, and how's that sort of been overall since you signed up?
I mean, I've worked with different team members from Bolster and before cost certified. I had the initial sales support, which was great, and he made sure that the handoff was great with Matt. Matt moved on from the company, and that was back during cost certified. Ryan picked up the ball with no problem. We had a Zoom call where all three of us were on. It was a handoff, and he was kind of quiet then, but I've learned he's not very quiet now. But no, he has been great. Like if I'm working through an estimate, I'm like, I don't remember how to do this. I'll send him a quick email, and I know he's a busy guy. He's on and off calls all the time, all day long. But on that same day, typically I will get a response from him, and I don't know if he understands that I'm technologically inadequate or delinquent in that area, but he'll send a video. He makes a video. Hey Kevin, I'm in your project. Bam, 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 bam. This is how you do it. Walks me through it, and that's perfect because I mean I could go to the Bolster Academy, and there are things I always end up going on a rabbit trail though when I start searching on my own. But what Ryan gives me, I don't know if he's unique to Bolster and the team, but if everyone's doing it like he does it perfectly. I mean, he sets me up and I'm off and running. So it's great. Ryan's awesome.
Big
Raise.
shout out. Yeah, there you go. I'll save that. Save that clip. Yeah, no, big shout out to Ryan for that. And yeah, no, we really care about our customers, and obviously we put a lot of resources into customer support. Yeah, no, Ryan is a star, but all we try to have that consistent customer support for all of our customers as well. But really cool to hear that he's
Yeah.
been a great help as
And
well.
you're talking to a real person. You're not talking to AI. Like press one for this. None of those work for me. I want to just give me a representative. But Ryan's always there. He's awesome.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not AI. I can tell you that. I'm looking at him. I can see him from my office over there. So no, that's awesome. Yeah, well, digging like a little bit more into the platform as well. So I guess a question that I'm not sure how many other softwares you sort of used or anything like that. Obviously, you did use Excel in the past. And it might not be a relevant question, but did you notice any differences using Bolster compared to other software?
Yes, absolutely. The onboarding process was far easier. I think if I had a little more knowledge, I probably would have gone through the onboarding the process a little differently because I think they were trying to set me up for speed and more like a retail. But I'm a custom builder and custom remodeler, and and Matt eventually he's like, I get this. I'm trying to save you time. He goes, I get it. I told him, I understand that, but my clients like the detail. They like the detail in the project, and they like to see all the detail on the estimate too. They know exactly what they're getting because what I hand off to the client is also what I hand off to my crew, my team. And so everybody's on the same page then. And you can set it up to where the customer gets to see it with the prices, and then you can change a couple features or the theme settings, move it over here, and then print it out for the guys. And then there's no pricing and stuff, just one lump sum number. I don't want them getting lost in it. Not that I'm trying to hide something, but they can get lost in it, and sometimes they might think, oh, we could take more time on something. It's like, no, that's not. There's stuff behind the scenes that are happening. But no, I think the onboarding process, it can suit a lot of different needs. The custom builder versus the retail builder. We had to kind of rebuild some things, some of my categories and stuff like that, based on the way I do it. Once I learned it, but I've one other program I worked with, which is a kind of a bigger name project program too. It was just cumbersome, and the customer support was not there. It's like, you only have this much time. This is all I'm going to give you, and it's like, okay, our call's over. Like, well, I haven't learned anything yet. But no, I love the intentionality. Alex, he's a support guy that he's reached out to me. Hey, how things are going? Just checking in. So that's been good. But I mean, I haven't needed to give any like major feedback to him because it's all coming to Ryan, and he's on top of it.
That's
Putting
awesome.
Ryan on a pedestal up here.
I know he's the the goat of customer support. Definitely, I have to chat to his boss after and see what we can do about his pay. But no, 100%. I think when it comes to customer support, obviously we care a lot about that. And comparing to other softwares, we try and be the best. And we want to give that human element, that human touch. And that's really important to us. And so just to hear that, and I think you touched on it a little bit there, is the communication piece.
Yeah.
And so do you think homeowners, do you think that there's sort of that lack of communication now? And do you think Bolsters help to fill that gap at all?
Um, Customer service is a huge piece of our company, hands down. I think it's part of what separates us is the intentionality with the client, the communication. My wife says, why are you sending out all these emails? And it's like, well, because they need to know this stuff. I mean, because that's too much information. I haven't gotten any complaints yet, so I think I maybe could count on one hand in the decades of work that I've done where it's like, man, stop emailing me. They love knowing what's going on. And, as we learn the program even more, because I know that we're just scratching the surface with Bolster now. And as I bring my IT guy in, we're going to be able to just blow this thing up and understand how the client can really interact with this. It's been good. I mean, the approval process for estimates, still need to learn how to do change orders to a certain degree where you can sign off on things, and that's a conversation down the road with Ryan, and just building things out. But I'm pretty excited about what we have coming up in our future, because I can really build a company off of Bolster for sure.
Mm. Yeah, no, awesome. No, that makes sense, and that's what we're trying to achieve right here as well, is give you guys the tools that are needed. And I know definitely touched on a few things there that we can follow up with Ryan as well, especially with change orders. And so yeah, that's really cool. And if you at the moment, you sort of mentioned there that you're design and build, right? So you're a custom builder,
Yep.
and you do all that stuff. Would you mind walking us through sort of your process, and talking about the customer experience as well, just from lead to estimate and then to book job as well?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, we do design in-house, but I also partner with designers as well. And so, it's kind of the best of both worlds where if I'm designing it in-house, all the communications going straight to the client. So we can build out different versions of the estimate. Oh, you want some options? Okay, so here's your item, here's your assembly. Bam, bam, bam. Here's some options for upgrades or downgrades. I mean, we start throwing out the middle one, and like, wow, that's out of our budget. Well, that's all right. Here's another one. So they don't have to go elsewhere. Hey, your price is too high. Well, that's fine. I can rebuild this. And Bolster makes it really easy to make those little tiers and adjustments, and the client has control of that. When they see the digital estimate, they can go in. Yes, I want that option there. Or here are several variations of what this one is. Bam, bam, bam. They get to pick it. So it makes the estimating process easier with that. And then by the time they've selected all their things, it gets to the end and they have their number. They can see what the outcome is at the bottom. And then all I have to do is say, approve. I want it. And yes, that's usually not the final answer because that's where the change orders come in. Oh, I forgot. Can we also do XYZ? That's no problem. And with this new platform, the Bolster, it summarizes any changes thereafter. So that's good to see. As I work with designers, they some of them want to preview the estimate before the client gets to see it. So, and maybe this is user error, but what I don't know, I'm sure Ryan will scold me later, and he'll show me a better way of doing this. But what I do now is I can download it as a PDF and then send it off to the designer and she previews it. And I will say one of the great improvements that from cost certified to Bolster is the layout of that PDF. There was so much white space with the cost certified, but they listened. You guys, your developers listened. And so I look at this, the Bolster setup on the PDF form is more consolidated, easier to read. I mean, that was the first thing that one of the designers I said, she's like, oh my gosh, I can read this so much easier now. So I love that you guys work with us and get it. So that's the process I go through. And then I make some iterations. Once we have the designer satisfied with what all the details are, I then plug the client's email in and send it off to them. So they don't have to go through all the versions and corrections that the designer wants to see. They see the polished form of it. And then again, all they have to do is hit approve and we're good to go. And we
Yeah,
can do the
no, awesome.
invoicing and stuff and keep progress payments. I know there, like I said, there's a lot more that we can do and that the client would be more integrated in, and I'm going to learn that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Several exciting features when it comes to payments and getting paid faster, and certainly keen to chat further about that as well. You did mention sort of earlier in the call, before we started, about QuickBooks, and
Yeah.
that's something I wanted to touch on. I know you might not have that all set up yet, but could you just give us if this were to be in an ideal world set up for you, how does that make your life easier as a custom home builder?
Yeah. So, I mean, with, like I said, technology is not my thing. So when I sat down with my tech company, I showed him what we have. He goes, you want to keep all your financials in one spot, really. And the fact that Bolster can come and support that, or it can be its own piece where you could collect payments like that. But the fact that it integrates with something I already have set up and I've been working with for a decade now, it makes sense to keep that. I have all my clientele in there and stuff. So that coming along, I have my sales side, and now it's developing into more production management too, where you can do takeoffs and stuff. And then I have my financial piece, but they're talking to it, or they will be once he finishes with it. It'll be talking, and so I'm really anxious for that because I have a part-time bookkeeper and she gets in there. She'll be able to, we're going to eliminate a lot of duplication in our process. This is a year of efficiencies. And this is a big piece for us to make us more efficient, get rid of duplication, get rid of repetitive stuff that just sucks up time. So I'm glad that my IT guys saw that the potential in Bolster so that we can just use the two platforms and not have five different things going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 100%. No. And you did mention, there's sort of those inefficiencies, and that's, what we really, want to solve, I guess, is like, yeah, the double entry of things and all that as well. And even like the management of some other processes when
Mhm.
it comes to, scheduling, and you probably got a bunch of guys that you work with as well. Yeah, have you had a chance to look into, I know you said you're yet to set that up, but any of the project management features there, like scheduling, material lists, budget, things like that?
Not yet, but I'm excited to do it one
Oh,
piece at a
awesome.
time.
One piece at a time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, I mean, we're getting this set up, and then he's got a big plan to incorporate Bolster into our system. And then I know between he and Ryan, they'll be talking and they'll be able to, because like in my company, I'm the most IT savvy. Well, except for my new operations manager. She's really good, but she's still learning the systems. But out of the rest of the field guys, I'm the most IT savvy, and that's not saying much. So we need to make it simple, and Bolster has done that. And we're going to get some devices in the field where the guys can see some of this information and do easy handoffs, good communication. So I'm really looking forward to the production piece. Right now, we've just been mainly focusing on that sales piece, and then now we're going to incorporate the financial piece with it, melding that with QuickBooks, and then we'll be jumping into the production side with Ryan's help.
Awesome. No, yeah, really cool. Yeah, we're definitely looking at those solutions, and yeah, everything can be sort of done from your schedule and generating task lists for you guys and things. I'm
Yep,
excited to get you set up on that. That's all sort of yeah, just brand new. So we're kind of yeah, getting clients into that now, and yeah, it'd be awesome to see how it's done in the field. Maybe we can do a follow-up interview once you've got that
for
set
sure.
up as well.
Yeah, no, and one of the things that was pointed out to me is you could track tasks and say this is done, this percentage is done. And I mean, I have a form on the job site log form. They write out all their tasks and then they text it into me. And then it's like, which text thread was that on? So this would also be one of those efficiencies where we mainstream. And it's like, there we are. We can see everyone on the team can see exactly where we are in our list of tasks on the production side. So I'm excited to implement that piece.
Yeah, really cool, man. Really cool. Yeah, and there's a few couple last questions here that I'll probably ask. But yeah, if you were sort of, if there was someone that you knew that was on the fence about Bolster, another contractor, what would you tell them about Bolster?
I would say there's is no hands down. Go through the demo, you'll see it for yourself. I mean, it shows it right there in the presentation. I mean, I was sold with the old version of cost certified. So this is the new and improved. And I know there was some hesitation from as I was talking to my operations manager, oh, we're rolling out beta. And she's like, what? Don't ever jump on a beta thing. But this has been, I mean, it's no longer beta, it's fully implemented. So, I mean, really dive in. You got to dive into it. And I don't know how IT savvy all the different contractors are. Probably many of them are more savvy than I. So if I can pick this up, I mean, it's going to work great for them. And like I said, it works for so many different types of companies. So the way if you're just retail, you want to crank out, here's this job, this job, this job, or you only want to have three options. You can pick these three tiles. I mean, you could do it like that, and it'd be an even faster process than what I'm doing. But we get into the weeds. But that's why we have the clientele that we have because they like the
Mm.
details. So, but hands down, there's I after looking at I would say about three different programs, this is the best one that I came across.
Wow, awesome. No, that's really cool to hear as well. And yeah, no, we're catering obviously to bigger businesses like yourself. And then also the more simple job guys, and that's totally like a good use of Bolster as well. And
It
so we're
is
trying to cater to every kind of contractor out there in the market as well. So yeah. Yeah, awesome.
cool.
That's kind of all the questions that I had for you. I don't know if anyone
All right.
else had anything to add, but amazing to have you on here. And thanks for your time, just giving us a rundown on, how you use Bolster and things that are coming up as well.
No, for sure. I mean, I'll say this that everyone that I've, and not just Ryan, he's not the only superstar here.
Oh, no,
Everyone
no.
that
Keep
I've
going.
talked to with Bolster, I mean, we had a support call, uh, before, and I can't. Ryan, who was on with us, I forget, and we were figured out. Oh, you need to switch over to Chrome because.
George hopped on for a second. Yeah.
So I mean, it's like just little things that wasn't related to you guys, but it obviously helped your system work with what I have going on. And I mean, I just everyone's so professional, so helpful. Uh, really appreciate it.
No, we appreciate having you as a customer as well. It's obviously been awesome. And yeah, can't wait to see how it makes an impact on your business in the future as well. So yeah, no, thanks for joining us, Kevin. And yeah, no, we'll leave it there.
Cool.
And thanks for tuning into the Bolster podcast as well. Cheers.